UPB at optionmillionaires.com. Thanks for tuning in. It's going to be a little bit of an update for this coming week. It is now Tuesday, July 9th. I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen heading into the weekend. We have 3 trading days left for this week. Weekly options expire at the end of this week, and we have monthly options expiring at the end of next week. We also have Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase reporting before the bell on Friday. That's going to move the financials a little bit on Friday. But look at this chart. I brought this up in the chat room yesterday. I also posted a video and a chart at optionmillionaires.com. First of all, let's look at this V bottom. I was talking about this V bottom, posted it right about here, 158. I put an arrow up. I thought it was going to go straight up to this line. It did not. Kind of got pretty close, within $1.50 of my target, 163.50. Kind of meandered here, consolidated before making this really nice move. And when I was talking about SPY going to 163.50 when we were at 158, or even down here, I was talking about the V bottom in the chat room on audio. A lot of people not believing what I was saying. Sure enough, it was a great move. It happened. And here we are. I thought yesterday when we bumped up against this line, this long-term support line that goes back to Abenomics back in November, that we would pull back. It hasn't happened. Okay, we broke above it. Look at these candles, too. You see these wicks? It's almost like that wild horse that's being reined in by the jockey being Ben Bernanke, the balding chairman, riding that horse, pulling back on the reins, saying, whoa, no, I don't want you to go up 600 points in one shot. No, not like the Japanese were doing when they started valuing their currency and inflating their stock market. No, Ben Bernanke, give him some credit. He's got his interns over there at the Federal Reserve not hitting the buy button continuously, pulling back a little bit. So that's what we had today. We closed off our highs. You can see we pulled back here late in the day, but closed just a little bit off our highs. Nothing to be worried about. The big key here is, do we stay above this trend line? Do we break below it? I do see a lot of bullish sentiment out there. I still think it's pretty ironic. You know, people say people are changing on a dime. Their perspective of the market. One day they're bullish, one day they're bearish. But it's been a nice run up since the low here, the V bottom. This is the true question, and I've pointed this out numerous times over the last couple of years. Each pullback since 2009 has seen a nice high, a lower high, and then a really sharp pullback. Is that what we are going to get? Some people are calling for taper coming in September. Okay, let's just assume the market's already priced that in. What is going to cause this market to fall? How about the bond market? Interest rates continue to rise on bonds. We have the TLT 20-year Treasury bond ETF got clobbered on Friday as the jobs number came better than expected, and the revised numbers for prior months came better than expected as well. That's implying that the Federal Reserve is going to have to remove its stimulus, its quantitative easing, taper. Yes, taper. That's a new term. Have you heard of taper before? I mean, I'm tapering my breakfast cereal. Everybody's tapering these days. I told the gas man when he was filling up my gas today, I said, listen, taper it off at the end so you don't spill it all over the place. Taper, taper, taper. That's what's going on these days. But I've been saying it. I know Jimmy Bob is pretty bullish on the marketplace. I don't think the Federal Reserve is ever going to taper. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't. Call me crazy, call me wild, but just imagine having 2 unlimited credit cards that continue to rise in value as you utilize them to purchase things, namely Treasury securities, and you're just paying off one credit card with the other all the way up until you're like at, I don't know, $16 trillion, $17 trillion. Pretty crazy, isn't it? That's what the Federal Reserve is doing. So the point is, they can't stop printing money. They've got to pay that other credit card, or they'll default. And of course, as interest rates start to rise, servicing those credit cards that are having the monthly payments continue to go up because interest rates go up. So just imagine you start off with that credit card that's a 0%. Ooh, 0%. I've got only $400 billion on this one. Just imagine when the interest rate goes to, I don't know, 10% and then 12%, then 15%. That's what's going to happen down the road. So they can't ever stop tapering. The point being, equity is still the place to be. But I also think since they're not going to stop buying mortgage-backed securities and treasuries, that TLT has reached some sort of a bottom here, at least temporarily. And I love this trade for this week. TLT, the 108 calls, love them right here at 37 cents. Probably get into them in the morning. I'll let you know in the chat room. But I like this trade. And in spite of what happens with the general market, for instance, SPY or gold, silver, anything else, bonds have been trading kind of all by themselves, which really doesn't make sense. Usually the safety trade, the bond trade, should go the opposite direction of equities, but they're not. This morning I woke up, bonds, commodities, stocks, and the dollar were all up. It was magic. Oh, oh, it's magic. And it was pretty amazing to see. And I said, all right, well, something's got to give. And I thought this resistance line here on the SPY would be what pulled stocks back a little bit. I'm looking for at least a return back to 160.18, I believe it was. We'll see if that happens. But at this stage in time, again, when we were breaking down to the downside, we did break. Do you see how we broke through the support line, broke through it again? Here we are. We've broken through this resistance line. So it's possible we could pull back. And if we do pull back, look at this, folks. This is what's going to make me, the bulls salivate, make me salivate as well. If we do pull back, look at this line right here. At about 161, we break down to about 160.18. We're going to have a beautiful inverted head and shoulders. Some people might call it right here. It's possible. But I think right here, look at this. Look at this beautiful neckline that'll be formed. Pull back to one. Ben Bernanke's probably outlining it now with his wife. And maybe that's what he's going to tell his interns to do tomorrow. Who knows? But anyway, yeah, if we do get that pullback, I look to about 160.18 would be the low. But look more for about 161 here. That would be the inverted head and shoulders. We'll see what happens. Tomorrow is going to be a really important day because that will confirm the breakout above this former support line when we were higher and now resistance line. We're a little bit above it, so it's still support. And if we break above it, we head up to about 165.50 even. Even if we go up 0.25%, we hold up there and close above it, then downside for the short term is gone. It's gone. And you could just look for probably, in all likelihood, new all-time highs for the market before, before you get that really good suntan in August. All right, 2PB here from OptionMillionaires.com. So I love TLT for upside, for at least a bounce. Netflix price line continuation. Google was upgraded after hours. So Google, historically over the last month and a half, every time it gets a price upgrade, it kind of fizzles out. But look at it. Again, Google, just like the market. See, we spiked above it, but look how we hung against that line. I posted this a couple days ago, and I posted it yesterday as well. We've rejected this resistance line. SPY didn't, Google did. So we'll see if that upgrade from Citigroup and that $11,000 price target, 11,000. Well, maybe that's 2015, who knows? But no, $1,100 price target. We'll see if that propels the stock past this resistance line. And if it does, we could be looking at all-time highs for Google by week's end, which would put us to about 925. Pretty crazy. All right, UPB here from OptionMillionaires.com. By the way, Netflix on the watch list this morning from Jimmy Bob. The 255 calls at 30 cents. They hit 167, excuse me. 2 cents. What's 2 cents among friends? Also the Google calls. So we'll see if Google can pull it out. And everyone, take care. Have a good evening. That's what I think is going to happen. It'll be an interesting day tomorrow. I think tomorrow's really the telltale day of where we're headed, at least in the short term. We're going to hit that. We've hit that line, and we break through it. Then certainly upside is it's a no doubter. It's kind of like a steroid-infused Mark McGwire home run, or we flop on our face, kind of like Michael Hasselhoff or David Hasselhoff. What's the guy's name from Knight Rider? All right, I'm crazy. Looney. Goodbye.